this is like quite shocking news to me. It's, I wouldn't have expected the Lodge to be a place that got raided.
It's the PokerNews Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 944 of the PokerNews Podcast. I am Chad Holloway, joined by Mike Holtz and Connor Richards at Level 9 Studio in Las Vegas. We have big breaking news. Literally about a minute before we started recording this episode, I got a message that there was a raid by authorities at the Lodge Card Club in Austin, Texas. That is the card room owned by Doug Polk, Andrew Nemi, Brad Owen, and others. It is a developing story we're going to talk about in a minute. That will lead us into another talk about the poker dealer who was caught cheating in Texas. They're unrelated, but we do have an update on that from episode 940. We'll talk about Fedor Holz essentially retiring from poker, recent tournament winners, including the PokerGO Cup, and some PokerNews PowerStack winners that you might recognize. Unfortunately, a beloved poker player has passed away. We'll talk about that. And then also a Hendon Mob Award at the end of the episode. But Mike, Connor, we're still kind of scrambling about this news about the Lodge. It seems to be confirmed, though, that there was some sort of raid this morning.
Yeah, it looks like the alcohol control board, at least that's from what people on Reddit were saying. There was a couple players there saying that the alcohol control board let them keep their chips, took pictures of everyone's IDs, and then let them leave. Is that correct?
I think that is correct. That's what I saw on Reddit.
Connor, why don't you, if you can, while me and Mike talk for just a second, pull up your phone, try to call the Lodge. Let's see if we get an answer, right? As we're recording on air.
Let's do it.
Maybe shed a little light.
I'm going to make a guess that it's going to go to voicemail. Could be wrong. But hopefully whatever it is
insight
just,
there.
Yeah, hopefully it's just some sort of alcohol issue. Whether they definitely serve alcohol there. There is no gambling board in Texas, correct? Or there is, and it's not regulated, or how's it work?
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, that there's not, and it might fall under the alcohol board or something. Like I said, we don't know many details, as this literally broke moments before we started recording.
Yeah, I've been.
Is it ringing, Connor?
It went straight to voicemail for me.
Yeah. So there you have. That's probably not a good sign. We'll have to get some details. I know one of our writers is on it right now, looking into it. We had to move forward with the show. But from what I'm hearing from multiple sources, it is accurate. There was, in fact, a raid. What it's about, we don't know. It sounds like it was more towards the ownership than the players. It sounded like the players were allowed to cash out once they showed their IDs. Is that what you're hearing, Mike?
I mean, yeah, that's what I saw on Reddit. Here's what I'll say is hopefully this is just some sort of small issue. However, without having a gambling board, it's always sketchy. Texas can just do whatever they want. When I played down at the Lodge, I thought it was awesome. I felt very safe playing there, and yeah, it was a fun environment. So this is like quite shocking news to me. It's I wouldn't have expected the Lodge to be a place that got raided. So hopefully it's just some sort of alcohol issue or something. But we're gonna need more details. It sounds like. Yeah,
and just a little bit of legal background on this. So Texas poker, it kind of operates, these card rooms operate in a little bit of a gray area where it's kind of in between legality, or there's some disputes over it. But as far as I understand, and our writer John Sofin's really the expert, is things have really looked promising in Texas lately. They've gotten a few local rulings or won appeals or things like that. So I would say this is a pretty scary escalation and development, to see state officials raiding a card room. Like we said, it might be something more related to the alcohol. So maybe, I don't know, perhaps more of a technicality or something other than the gambling aspect. But it is scary because, the legality of these rooms has been in question, but it was looking really good. I mean, I thought this fight was over, to be honest. I thought it was victory for Texas poker. And so this is alarming.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And it's all speculation at this point, obviously.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of info right now. But that is a bit of the legal background, and hopefully we'll be able to learn more.
By the time you're hearing this or seeing this, there's likely an article up on PokerNews.com. Head there. I am reading over the Reddit right now. It does say actually they weren't allowed to cash out the chips, but they were allowed to take them home, bring them back at a later date. It sounds like there was a tournament that was taking place at that time, and they were told that they would get a future tournament entry. And then somebody does say on, again, Reddit, unconfirmed, but somebody said, I heard it was related to their liquor license / underage drinking. So maybe it is something along those lines. And, it's not the morality police when it comes to poker or anything like that.
Right.
But it's hard to say.
You can play poker at 18 in Texas or 21?
I mean, I would assume, like, see, that's the thing, is it's not licensed or regulated. So my assumption would be that if it was a card room that serves alcohol, then you would have to be 21. And if it's no alcohol, then possibly 18. I don't know. This is like the gray area when you don't have clear-cut rules, as we talked about in Texas many times. Now, I do agree with you, though, like when it comes to card rooms that operate above board in a fair manner, the Lodge is kind of towards the top of the list for me. I've been there, felt safe as you did, Mike, but yeah, it's kind of a gray area still.
And I think we should point out that this is a very high profile room. This is Doug Polk's room there in Austin. One of the more, they have live stream presence, huge presence in the poker community. So, and Doug has also been leading the fight really for poker in Texas. So that's an interesting element, is that, it's that room.
Our original lead story was going to be about a Texas poker room as well. So this is a segue into that. It was 4 episodes ago or so, we talked about a poker dealer who was caught cheating. We showed video of him false shuffling a deck, setting the deck, and dealing it to a player. Well, PokerNews obtained more footage and an update on the Houston poker dealer, who goes by the name Mo, M-O-E, was apparently in cahoots with one of the players at the table at the River Poker Club. Now, apparently it wasn't a poker game. It was a private poker game inside the poker club, which, I don't know, to me sounded a little bit like passing the buck to me, Mike. I don't know how you feel about it. What did you make about this whole update? It's clear as day they were cheating and they were in cahoots.
Yeah, I mean, it just solidifies exactly what we all know was happening, and that was that the man's cheating, went to the bathroom with the deck in his pocket, and came back, hit him with the no shuffle. It's very obvious. We all know they cheated, and it's unfortunate and interesting that we're going to go Texas to Texas, both with the lead-in stories here, 2 completely unrelated incidents. Yeah. Man, it's unfortunate that there is cheating in poker, but yeah, I mean, crazy stuff.
We do have a video. It's a few minutes long. It kind of shows the progression of what went down. It's very interesting. This is surveillance footage that PokerNews has obtained. Check it out.
All right, so here you can see the surveillance video. That is the dealer, Mo, right there. He is going to linger about outside. Now, this, of course, is the surveillance video from the poker club there. And in a second here, you're going to see the accomplice, the player in the game, allegedly the cohort, if you will, outside. They're talking. So far, no smoking gun, right? But just wait and see. They're going to go inside here in just a moment. And when they do, you're going to see Mo go to an empty poker table nearby the cash game, which is apparently a private game, while Estrada goes back into the game. And now you can see, look right there, you can see the deck of cards. That's the deck of the cards that you're going to see in a moment. He takes with him.
Sorry. Oh my God.
And he's going to walk over into the bathroom, where you will also see the accomplice, Estrada, also walk in. So unless they're going in there to, have a good time, they're up to some shenanigans, most likely. And he's back. You can see the cards now in the tray. He is going to, looks like, swap one in right there. And before too long, be in the game with what is allegedly a preset deck that will result in a cooler. Now, they're playing PLO in the private cash game, as you'll see here in a minute. But now he takes the cards, walks over to the game, and is going to tap out, I think, here. No, he's already in the game. Mo's already in the game. So you can see now swapping in the deck and watch the cards. It's going to be a false shuffle shown in a previous episode. So the accomplice now, Estrada, is right to the direct left on the dealer button in seat 1. The deck is set, so they know where it's all going to be. You fast forward and you can see the hand play out. It's hard to see exactly all the cards, but it looks like the patsy, if you will, the victim, flopped a set of aces. And I can't tell, you'll see the cards here in a minute, whether it's a straight, rivered straight there, or if it's potentially quads. It's kind of hard to make out, but either way, the deck is set and maximum cooler. And, don't know the arrangement between the dealer Mo and the accomplice Estrada, whether they're splitting things 50-50, etc. But obviously in cahoots to defraud these players in this poker game. If you're listening to this on the audio only, I encourage you to check out the article on Poker News. You can see the full video, but shenanigans.
All right, so there you have it. Apparently, the player in the game was Marcos Estrada. This was from February 8th was when the videos were taken and the whole cheating incident occurred. We just talked about the lodge getting raided. We don't know exactly why right now, but we've talked about Texas card rooms quite a bit and the image of it. And this certainly doesn't look good. And I don't even know what happened. I don't think the law got involved. They probably just got blacklisted from this particular club, and maybe we'll move on to a next one. I don't know. But at some point, I'd like to see the law make an example of people who are so egregiously cheating the poker community.
Yeah. Or someone with a vendetta, one of the two, some sort of vigilante justice. I would never recommend such a thing. But if it happens, it happens.
I mean, it is Texas, so you never know. But I don't know if we'll get any more updates on this particular story. You can check out the article on PokerNews.com. The video is also up. And hopefully these guys aren't able to continue doing what they've been doing because we don't need any more bad juju or black eye on poker, especially down there in Texas, especially when you got other things coming up. The first Run Good event is supposed to be down in Texas. The WSOP circuit is heading there. We need some positivity.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. I right before this episode would have told you Texas. I swear to God, this is a true story. Right before this, I watched Fireman Scott, God, what's his last name? Delaney? I might be getting that wrong. I think that's right. I played a final table with him at WSOP. I watched his story this morning, or maybe it was yesterday morning. He's playing 7 a.m. PLO. They're starting the game. It is the most absurd game. And I literally watched this video while I was getting coffee for here. And I thought to myself, dude, I think I have to move to Texas. Like, this is crazy. Like, the things I was seeing down there, that hand alone, I was like, I have to wake up at 7 a.m. and play PLO in Texas now. So before this episode, I was like, damn, like Texas is the spot. So this is really, really concerning stuff here that we're getting, the biggest card room raided, and then you're getting cheating left and right here. And those guys, by the way, they're going all over the country as well. They got caught back down in Miami and a couple other places right after that.
Speaking of Texas, let's talk about a poker fold. Maybe the worst fold in poker history, some would say, took place on a live stream.
I'm right back to going to Texas. Look, what can you do? Look, you take the good with the bad, guys. Let's go over there. Come on.
This hand was from the Texas Card House Dallas poker live stream. They were playing No Limit Hold'em, and a player flopped quads, and another player flopped a full house. And you would think, okay, this is going to be it. The full house is going to get stacked. Well, didn't quite play out that way. Check it out.
Something else tonight, and I'm not standing for it. What Q is standing for, though, is flopping quads. And he is going to get paid because Spooky has flopped a full house. Now this, folks, is the collision we have been waiting for.
Oh, my God.
Let's just...
to give top pair and a flush draw.
What is
hyper
this?
Cooler that it was from the beginning. Oh, we're going to wait till the river to suddenly get infinite chips in. A 3 on the end gives 3 pair to Ryan, but it's QQQ lurking in the bushes with flopped quads. Spooky here with flopped top boat, who are going to back and forth seesaw all the chips into the middle.
And Spooky just kind of relaxing, stretching with his arm behind his back. No big deal. I just got a full house here. He's thinking, I'm about to get paid here.
Poor Spooky is about to get absolutely demolished. He's got a 5K orange chip there. This is amazing. I'm coolering the shit out of you. you thought you were trapping me, I'm trapping you. But like, nope.
He says, fuck. And he raises to 24.
Rebet non all in?
He just told him no straight flush. So he has to call. You know he doesn't have aces full.
If you believe him, Eric, what the hell are you talking about?
Oh, you're gonna see him in the parking lot if he lied to you about a straight flush, but you're not folding, you're raising here, right? He ripped it.
The straight flush, the dude was asking us about the straight flush, but like maybe he's reverse psychology, whatever. So that's still live, but the 6 is full. Okay, that makes some sense. It's never 3's full.
You're never folding. You're never folding.
No,
Flick the chip in. Let's move on. What are we doing here?
one combo beats you.
No fucking way. No way.
What? He folded? He folded quads?
I know.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, folks.
Zach, I have it. Go ahead.
All right, so there you have it. The player known as Q folding flopped quad fours on the river. Only afraid of a straight flush there. Had to have put his opponent spooky on that exact hand, either a deuce 5 of hearts or 5-7 of hearts. And it was for what, like 5K more? Mike, I know you got thoughts.
So let's say that one of my students or one of my friends or anyone, just somebody texts me this hand, and they are the man with quads, and they're telling me the hand history, and on the river they go, "What do I do?" And I say, "What's the guy's name you're playing against?" And they say, "His name is Spooky." I go, "Put the fucking money in, man. What are you talking about? I don't care what his name is. We're calling. It's quads. What's going on here? You have number 2 in the craziest spot. You need him to have exactly, I think it was 7-5 of spades. He could have one combo to beat him with a straight flush. Come on, you put the money in. It is probably the worst fold in poker history. I mean, it's up there, like top 5 I've ever seen for sure.
So I just want to maybe defend him a kind of bit. Do you think it's an overplay by the other guy and made that like played a role? And it was a 4-bet on the river, right? Like that's usually number 1.
Where are they playing?
Yeah, good point.
They're in
good
Texas,
point.
right?
That's a great point.
I think they both played the hand fine, except for the river fold. I think we went max value with 6s. I don't know. I mean, obviously, you see the guy fold quads, you're like, holy shit, you can't go value for 6s there on the river there. But I think in Texas, we might just take
that's
ace
a good
4
point.
offsuit for a 3-bet all in, and you know.
I mean, I get the sentiment, I guess, but for 5K more, when you just got to pull the trigger on it, and I think it was a pretty bad fold, and I guess it'll go. He saved some money. Well, he didn't save some money. He lost out on some money, and now he's going to be down in poker infamy as one of, if not the worst fold in poker history. You don't see folded quads very often.
You don't, and especially incorrectly, and especially in this situation. But the good thing for him, and I thought about this too, I was like, damn, I kind of wish I did something this stupid on stream that everyone's watching. It's like, what a moron. You know what I mean? Shout out Nikki Limo recently. Nice hands, girl. Nice hands. I wish that I had some footage out there so then I can go and now I can reverse it, So now this guy can act like a maniac now and everyone's going to think he only has the nuts. So that's what I'd be peddling if I were him. Do I think he's going to do that? Absolutely not. I think he will continue to be a scared nit, and it's unfortunate for him. But if he makes the turnaround, use that image, boy.
It's a good thing too for like Spooky that there wasn't a bad beat jackpot involved in this particular hand, right? Because if you have quads there and you're afraid you're beat by a straight flush, you want to be beat by a straight flush there to hit a bad beat jackpot. But
I would say
that could have played out on this hand.
I would say we probably don't need to feel bad for Spooky in this hand. I think he got away with that. I mean, it's still like the craziest shit ever.
How do you not call a guy named Spooky? I don't know him. He could be the tightest knit in that whole club. Who knows?
Sure, of course. And I will say this as well. It probably was a situation where maybe I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he had a strong read. And this happened to me. This happened to me like multiple times on Sunday when I was playing online, where someone makes a move and in my heart, I go, I know that they have value. And the only value beats my value, even though I have a really good hand. And I called anyway, and I beat worse value. It just happens,
Yeah.
Like,
I do have a little bit of an update regarding the lodge. I said if we get updates, we'll update them here as the show goes on. So Poker News via John Sofin made contact with Doug, says that it is super unclear what's going on at the moment. There isn't any communication from the inside, and that the staff members must still be inside the lodge. I don't have any information yet until the main people in the building are released. So it sounds like as we're recording this, the authorities are still there. Whoever was in charge of the lodge at the time inside or being questioned by authorities. So a developing story, which is exciting. We've never had such a thing here on the Poker News podcast as we're recording, but be sure to check PokerNews.com for our updated article to find out exactly how this all plays out. Oh, boys, should we put a pin in Texas poker here for this episode? Because that was a lot.
I don't know. I could do more Texas poker. I got a cowboy hat in the car. I should put that on.
Let's talk about Fedor Holz instead.
My cousin.
Fedor, what do they call him, Mike? They must call him something.
They call him Mike Holtz's cousin, I think. That's what they call him. Right? Yeah.
The German wonderkin, he announced on Twitter that after a good 6 years, he's going to leave GGPoker, hasn't renewed his ambassador role with them. He is trying to have kids with his wife or girlfriend, I'm not sure which, and is launching an investment fund. So going to focus a little more on that and less on poker. He says, I started playing poker half his life ago, which is accurate. I don't know how old he is. I'm going to look it up in a minute.
32.
That's given him a lot of 32. That sounds about right. A lot of freedom and opportunity, travel the world, build the life that he has today. It says it will always be very special to me, which leads me to believe, like, I don't know, is he stepping away? Is he retiring?
Well,
Mike, what'd you make about this?
Like Ben said last week so eloquently, it could have been the week before. No one really knows. Time is an illusion. He said that no one plays more poker than a retired poker player. So if he's retired, he's retired. You said German Wonderkin? Is that his nickname?
That's what I used to refer him.
I thought it was
you
Gaping.
Referred to him as early in the day.
They said, I thought his
Gaping?
nickname was, Fedor Gaping Holz. That's not his name? No, it's not. I thought that's what he went by. That's his online
That's a different
name.
guy.
Oh, my bad.
Fedor Holz sits atop Germany's all-time money list. First place with just over $50 million in career earnings, dating back to 2012, according to the Hendon mob. So 15-year career in poker, $50 million, $1 million, more than $1 million a year. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, he's done fine. He's done well. He's retiring for an investment firm. Good for him, man. He lived the dream. He did the thing. He probably has 67 million Bitcoin. Good for Fedor.
Pop quiz to you both. How many 7-figure cashes does Fedor Holz have in his poker career, according to the Hendon mob?
I'll say 4. I don't know.
I'm going to say, what's his career earnings? Did you say that already
50.
or no?
50 million.
I'm going to go with 11.
Ooh, it was 13. $13
Wow,
million plus scores. His career score, $6 million even for finishing runner in the 2018 big one for one drop the $1 million buy-in tournament to Justin Bonomo. So yeah, I mean, look, I agree with you, Mike. Retired poker players rarely stay away. They usually pop up. They might take a few years away, like Antonio Esfandiari did recently, where he was focused on family and his kids when they were growing up. But now we're seeing him to start playing a few more cash games and things like that. So I would expect similar from Fedor. Maybe see him a few times a year, maybe at some bigger buy-ins and stops near where he's at. But regardless, it's pretty impressive. I would ask you this interesting topic. We always talk about the Poker Hall of Fame. Poker Hall of Fame worthy career and should even be considered. You know, if he's done at 32 and you can't be eligible until you're 40, is that standing the test of time, et cetera, et cetera? What do you guys think? Like for me, what he accomplished in the amount of time that he did, I think is worthy of consideration and nomination at least.
Wow, I need to think about that. I think no, just because of the rules, right? Now, that's not to say that I don't personally think that his career is outstanding, which it is. Diehard Fedor Holz fan, especially early on when he played in the main event when he was 21, I believe, and he had the sick hand against Pesta Silva. That was a crazy, crazy hand. I don't know if you guys, go look at that on YouTube. It's insane. I've loved watching Fedor Holz play, but I think with the current way that the Hall of Fame is set up, standing the test of time, if you are going to quit at 32, that's not going to do it, right?
I think that's reasonable. Based on those criteria, I could see why you could say maybe he wouldn't be eligible, but kind of like what Chad was saying, I think that his run was so impressive and also at such a young age that sure he's retiring by 32, but he has been around for 15 years or so. And again, I don't have the exact Hall of Fame requirements offhand, but I'm thinking of other stuff like he's involved with coaching. He has a lot of younger players or similarly aged players who he's like kind of has a stable with. I'm thinking of people like Mario Mosbach. And so he's also been an ambassador and, did stuff with game integrity. So I think there's some impact arguments to be made there, but kind of like you said, Mike, getting out of the game at 32, that could be a disqualifier right there. But I mean, he has a Hall of Fame worthy career, I would say.
I 100%, if it's me and I get the choice, I'm putting him in the Hall of Fame for sure. I just don't think under the current criteria. Sure. I think same thing for he's had a longer career than Michael Adamo, but like you think about Michael Adamo, you think about Ben Wang only had like 1 year like that. No, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think that this test of time would be the only thing, but I would put him in the Hall of Fame. One of the most skilled players of all time, super creative. He opened up a lot of doorways for a lot of different people and really showed what the European community can really do when they become nasty at high stakes. Shout out the Germans.
Mm-hmm. Well, let us talk about recent tournament winners presented by WPT Global. We'll start with the PokerGO Cup. It's in the middle of it right now, Connor. You've been down there almost every day.
Not only that, but I'm heading over there right after we're filming this because I'll be covering one of the 10K events. So yeah, it's been a fun series. It's always a fun time in the PokerGO studio. PokerNews is live reporting in there for the first time, and it's really cool to just see the players kind of, especially when it's not being streamed. They're super comfortable. They're doing all sorts of side bets. They're talking shit. Jeremy Becker's a really fun player to watch. David Coleman as well. They get into a lot of bickering. Mike, I'm sure you know all about these inner workings, but it's been a fun series. Chad, maybe I'll let you talk about the winners, but I've enjoyed live reporting it for sure.
Yeah. It started with event number 1, the 3K PokerGO Cup Showcase. Kent Stevens defeated Miles Mulally in heads-up play for 130K. This was an interesting one because these players, 3K buy-in in the PokerGO studio, you're not really familiar with them. Kent Stevens was a guy, family man out of Utah.
There we go.
And I watched this heads-up match. Yeah. I'm like, Connor, I was wondering if you knew who he was.
I didn't know who he was, and it wasn't until after the interview that I saw he was from Utah, and I'm like, oh man, that's awesome. So
no, literally, it was good versus evil. He's a nice Utah family man, and Miles Mullally's nickname is literally the top gooner among the circle. So they went one-on-one. What can you do?
Event number 2, a 5K single day. Philip Coven defeated Jesse Lonis heads up for 141K score. Don't do that. That doesn't happen often. You can defeat Jesse Lonis in heads up action. Another 5K event number 3. Justin Saliba defeated James Carroll for $96,000. And then event number 4 was the only other winner right now. Another 5K. Brock Wilson defeating the aforementioned David Coleman heads up for 112K. There's 10 events on the schedule. So next week we'll recap them all. But early signs point to some good numbers, which is encouraging, right, Connor? We've talked about how the big beautiful bill and the tax deduction law currently stands might impact a lot of the PokerGO studio stuff, but at least at these price points, the 5Ks, 10Ks, and then maybe the 15K at the end seem to be doing all right.
Yeah, no, it is promising. And the first event there was the 3K, and the first starting flight was a little underwhelming in field size, but then it really picked up for day 1B. And kind of from there, from what I've seen, the numbers have been good. And like you said, it is promising, just given all the tax stuff that's going on. We had people like Eric Seidel say they're literally not going to be playing stuff 10K or higher. And here these guys are, they're all firing this year. And I know there is some questioning about when these tax laws go into effect and all that, but we were worried it was going to have a chilling effect on the high stakes community. And we're not seeing that in the Vegas poker scene, I don't think. So that's definitely promising.
One thing they did at the PokerGO studio, Mike, that I thought was interesting, they put out a tweet. For the first time ever, we had straddles allowed in a tournament format. It was in one of the single day 5Ks. First off, what did you think of that being offered? And then Connor, I'll get your opinion on what was it like being there? What did the players think of it? Mike, you like straddles in tournaments?
I like it that they did it for the first 4 levels, right? So my thinking, if I'm a tournament director, I have to decide whether to implement straddles. I want to make sure that everything's fair, that every table's fair, right? You don't want one table straddling a bunch and then you have a bunch of people building gigantic stacks. So having the rules out in front of everyone only for the first 4 levels, I thought that was a pretty cool, interesting way to introduce it and see if it's an effective thing that everyone likes. I know a lot of the PokerGO guys. I know they like to gamble, so I'm going to assume that everyone really liked it there. I think early on in the tournament, first 4 levels, first 6 levels, whatever. I think that's really good stuff. I don't know about later on because now you can make some weird ICM implications. Things can get kind of funky later on with a bunch of mismatched stack sizes. But early on, even playing field, everyone's playing deep, which is it helps a lot instead of having everyone has 20 big blinds, someone straddles and everyone has 10 big blinds, right? So early on, cool stuff. Later on, not sure.
Yeah, what was it like on site?
So I actually haven't been back over there yet since they implemented this, so I don't know firsthand, but it was our guy Tyler Boyer who was the one who flagged this and wrote an article about it, and he was there. And from what I understand, the players really liked it. Kind of like what Mike said. You see this at the WSOP sometimes when people try and straddle and there's always one guy at the table who doesn't want to do it. This environment's a little different because these guys are all just gamblers and they're all friendly and all that. And kind of like I mentioned, they're already doing side bets, prop bets. They're talking about potentially cross-booking, all this stuff. So I think this is right up their alley. And also the structure of these PokerGOs is good enough and they start deep enough that I think it's reasonable. Kind of like what Mike said, it just needs to be uniform. Can't have one table doing one thing and another table not doing it, or it creates some unfair dynamics. But I think it's cool, and yeah, people seem to be excited about it for sure.
And then one key thing that I forgot to mention that I thought was good was the problem is there's going to be people who don't want to straddle, and you're going to have people being like, yo, come on, straddle. What are you doing? Like, you're playing with the big dogs. You're not going to straddle. They made it so that if anyone says anything about that, you get I think it was a 1 hand or 1 round penalty. Okay. So they made it literally a penalty if you ask anyone. You cannot, they consider it influencing action. If you ask a guy to straddle, if you're like, yo, you got to straddle, that's a round penalty or a hand penalty, whatever it was, which I thought was cool.
That's good, yep.
I like how they implemented it.
Gentlemen, we're getting towards the end of the episode. I do have some other winners I want to rattle off here real quick. Joseph Spanne, if I'm pronouncing that right, sorry if I'm not, took down the 2026 Wynn Millions for almost $400,000. Obviously, the Wynn Millions, one of the bigger tournaments, $3,500 buy-in, 694 runners there. And then the PokerNews PowerStack was at the Borgata as part of the Run Good Poker Series. 981 runners in the $400 buy-in tournament was won by Mukul Pahuja, well-known poker pro, a guy I've known for many years, for $55K. So exciting to see him become a PokerNews PowerStack champion. Likewise for Nick Rigby, the Dirty Diaper Baby, he took down the PokerNews PowerStack event in St. Louis. Not only that, he ended up going on to win 2 more rings. He won 3 rings at this particular stop, is a PokerNews PowerStack champion. Mike, I'm curious, are you a Nick Rigby Dirty Diaper fan?
I wouldn't say I'm like a fan necessarily, but I absolutely respect him. I mean, winning 3 rings in 2 days is no ordinary feat. He won 2 in the same day. Here's what I'll say. I think there's multiple types of poker players and poker pros. Nick Rigby is my type of poker pro in that we both like to eat. No. He's exploit heavy, right? It's obviously he's doing things that are not solver based, and he's exploiting players, and it's working. He has a massive win rate, and everyone thinks he's insane and crazy, and because of that, when he's got value, he gets paid off. So I really respect that type of game. I think you put him in a high stakes field, he's gonna have serious problems. But in these mid low stakes, the guy's a friggin' crusher, man.
Yeah, congratulations to him. I want to share some sad news that I had to write up. I got word that Gene Bellar passed away at the age of 101. If that name sounds familiar, it was probably from the 2024 World Series of Poker. The WSOP flew in Gene from the San Diego area with his daughter. This was arranged by my good friend Jesse Follin, and that's because Gene Bellar was a World War II, Korean, and Vietnam War veteran, a 3-time vet overall, and he was brought in for the Salute to Warriors, got to do the Shuffle Up and Deal, got to play in the event on the dime of the WSOP. He was 99 at the time, and it was a very special moment that summer, but unfortunately he has passed away. Did play poker up until a few months ago when his health started to take a turn. And look, it's always sad when somebody passes away, but for me, you have a man who did great service for his country, had a beautiful family, lived to 101, and was playing poker right up to the end. Like, sign me up. Give me that any day of the week. Do you agree?
Yes.
I agree. It's any death is sad, but it's also kind of beautiful when you put it like that, especially since how it all worked out. He got to come to the WSOP. There was lots of content about him. He got honored. I spent some time in Korea recently. Just thinking about his involvement.
So you're
in the
a vet.
Korean War.
You're a vet too now, Connor?
So I'm kind of a Korean vet, if you think about it. No, but in all seriousness, seems like a really good guy. And like you said, Chad, shout out to Jesse Follin for making the poker community aware of these type of people.
Well, let's talk one last quick story. Congratulations to a Dutch player. I'm going to probably butcher the name because, that's how it rolls with the Dutch players. But Koen Roos, I'm going to say, he was the recipient.
I was expecting a way more complicated name than that.
I mean, it's Koen, so Koen, I'm assuming, and then Roos, Roos. He was given the
Sounds right.
let's see. Yeah. The Hendon Mob Flagship Award. It was awarded to him at their festival in Bratislava at the Banco Casino. Basically, in 2025, he was flag hunting. And for those who don't know what that is, Connor, do you know what flag hunting is, right? Explain it to the listeners if you do.
Yeah, so flag hunting, it's Hendon Mob tracks where people pick up caches. And so there are some people, especially people in Europe who have access to lots of poker stops. They try and get a flag from each country, meaning they cashed a tournament in each country, right?
Yeah, that's right. And he ended up cashing in 5 different continents. It says here, 52 total cashes for over $111,000. Cashes in the U.S., Poland, Georgia, Belgium, Morocco, Malaysia, South Korea, so on and so forth. So I don't know. I think it's just a little cool award that the Hendon Mob does. I've participated myself in terms of when I was in the Bahamas or in Panama playing these small side events. I'm like, man, it would be cool to have one of those flags on the Hendon Mob. I don't know if either of you, do you guys have any other flags aside from the USA?
I have some WSOP online flags on there.
No, Laughlin is kind of like a different country, but it's still technically a U.S. flag. So.
Another last update. I got a message from John Sofin. He says he's on the phone with the police right now trying to get information. Police told me that the Tobacco Alcohol Bureau, whatever, is the agency involved. That's alcohol. So this is alcohol serving related, not poker related. That's unconfirmed at the point, but that's what he's kind of being told. So yeah, I mean, developing story, big story. Obviously, the lodge is a big one. And thank you for bearing with us. This has certainly been very atypical of our shows, but kind of exciting as well. We'll have an update on it next week. And yeah, fingers crossed, boys, that it's not more serious where it gets shut down or something. Hopefully it's just underage drinking, get fined, and operations are back up and running.
I agree. Hopefully it's just a little 1-2 buckle my shoe. You know what I mean? Jelly bean.
I'm Chad Holloway, Mike Holtz, Connor Richards. We will be back next Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific time with a brand new episode. And until then, we'll keep a seat open for you.